Hello and welcome to this very special bonus episode of the Success Codes podcast. My name is Melinda Van Fleet and I am so excited that you joined me today. And this is being released on Christmas Eve after my normal podcast, which is an amazing interview with psychic, business coach, and mentor Jennifer Donovan. So please check that episode out if you haven't already, episode 62. But this episode, I wanted to keep clean in terms of announcing and sharing about a brand new mastermind that came to me. It started bubbling up about a week ago when I was promoting the Money Codes, which was just a master class that happened last Thursday night. I was like, how do I take this and really take this idea that came to me to make it a monthly group and run with it? And I just let it simmer. I just kind of put it out there a little bit, and then I kept on going, which is something I actually learned to do from being in Cassie Howard's inner circle, and I'm going to have Cassie on the podcast in January. But she's really big on, having lots of promotions and offers and ways to work together. So I spent a year in her inner circle and definitely learned a lot. So again, I'm going to be excited to have her on the podcast in a few weeks. I think that episode will be January 14th. And so in true style, I let it simmer and I'm like, okay, what can this evolve to be? And within the last 24 hours, and it finished up coming to me this morning on my walk, Saturday morning, to have it be a monthly mastermind group for reviewing and sharing and also implementing, actually doing the work, putting it in our schedules, in our lives, taking some action about new codes and using the tools that I have been using over the past year or even more, really, since 2019, 2020, and really sharing those ways that have helped me on my journey and also my clients in this past year. So I have so much to share. It just bubbles up from me all the time. So having this monthly container, which is going to be called the new Codes Collective Mastermind, is just a really great space for this. So it's going to be on Sunday nights. I really feel that people there's no excuses. I just did a little video. I'll put the link in the show notes for this too. There's really no excuses. Unless you're volunteering on a Sunday night or you have some type of religious service on a Sunday night, what's everyone doing on a Sunday night? You can get organized a little bit sooner in the day and spend an hour and a half for yourself. Literally, this is a gift for you, a gift for yourself to work on up-leveling your life and business. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to pivot a business. Maybe you want to grow your business. Maybe you want to feel better. Maybe you want to get more healthy this year. Whatever your goals are, we're going to be working towards making them manifest faster. You want to make more money. This is all about you. So I really love the idea of this. I love being able to use the tools and also talk about the fact that the buzzword right now, the trend, is talking about the new codes. And I love it. It's super fun. It's super fun to think about how things are really changing, how they have been changing. I was just part of Anna Kowalski's summit that was all about the new codes. I'm in Christina Rice's group, Ascension School, which is all about the new codes. And I have so much to share that I've learned from groups like those, and then also on my own, and the different mentors that I listen to, the different ascended masters, the different, energetics and things that are out there that we can talk about. So this is going to be part teaching, part workshop, part Q&A, and just a really fun, expansive way to grow quickly. I'm all about how can we put some lighter fluid on this, right? That's what I always say about a high. A high is like putting lighter fluid on your goals and dreams. And that's on my website. And I thought of that when I was attuned and certified in level 1 of high. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just such a fun way to put lighter fluid on your goals and dreams. So it will have an aspect of a high in it. And also, just all these amazing things that I'm learning. I want to share. I want to give credit to teachers as I share. And I'm just really excited to put this container together, because the more we can share about what is necessary to really be successful now and into the future, it's just going to help more and more people. It's really going to help more and more people. So the 3D way of so many things that people are still talking about online, talking about on social media, especially like platforms like LinkedIn, for example, that I'm on, it's getting confusing now. So having someone who is grounded in working in a certain direction is also really, really important, because you're like, who do I listen to? What do I do? And I spent a couple years in that void of like, okay, do I have to work on my marketing in this fashion? Or do I just post with what I feel called to share? What's coming through with my intuition? Or do I need to go back to some outdated marketing book and figure it out? So there's so many things that go into this bucket that I've had personal learnings on in the past couple years, and I just want to be there as a resource and as a mentor for people that are also struggling with these things. And if you're not yet struggling, believe me, it's going to be coming, because this is all coming through really, really fast, and more people are becoming aware of all of the codes and how things are really changing. So this is going to be amazing. I'm super excited. This is a separate group from WWS, which is the Wealthy Women's Society, where wealth and success is a way of being. That group is a little more, let's say, intense in terms of structure, because it meets twice a month and then has a separate Ahai session. So that is separate. This group is once a month, the first Sunday of the month. So this will kick off Sunday, January 7th. And I'm putting the time out there at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. So it'll be about an hour and a half. And it'll be on Zoom, recorded. And then there's going to be a Voxer group set up instead of a Facebook group. Why? And I talked about that in the video that I recorded this morning, is that I learned personally that being in all these Facebook groups kept putting me into Facebook. And even though I consider myself someone who is really good at managing distractions, I would still be then on Facebook scrolling, mindlessly scrolling. And I'm like, I'm actually really good at managing distractions. And here I am, like, not even walking the walk. Here I am on Facebook because I'm watching this Facebook Live from this other coaching program. And then I end up being on Facebook. And I was wasting time. Energy was all over the board, and quite frankly, it was clogging my intuition. So both containers, WWS and this new container, the new Codes Collective, will have a lot of work towards really making sure your intuition is open and your channel is clear. But that was just such a huge lesson for me this year, was like, oh my gosh, I have to even manage the Facebook even more and more. Instagram, I don't really have challenges there, but I know people do, right? I know people get sucked into Reels. I know people get sucked into Threads, X, TikTok, LinkedIn. For me, it was Facebook. I was like, I have got to minimize the Facebook even more. So this Voxer group, I'm super excited about. I love Voxer because it's just literally something you have on your phone. It's a separate app. It's free. And it's like a walkie-talkie, so you can talk into it, and you can also type into it and treat it like text. And so it's just really great for people to share things back and forth, to ask questions back and forth. I will pop in from time to time and and see what's going on, maybe share something more. It's not necessarily for coaching. It's more of just an in-between, because I do have coaching containers that use Voxer for coaching, so I don't want that to be a blurry line. But it's really just going to be, instead of a Facebook group, with the pure intention to have a group that has some in-between community building that is not going to clog your intuition. So it all kind of goes into that with the codes. So I am super, super excited. How I'm doing the pricing to get started is it's $88 a month. You can be month to month. That is fine. I'm not going to make you have to sign a year. I do believe in that as much as possible. I'm not saying I'll never have a year-long commitment container, but at this moment, that's not how this is going to be structured. But if you sign up for 3 months, you get the third month at half price. And if you sign up for 6 months, you get the 6th month at 100% free. So you only pay for 5 months. So that's $440. But the 3 months and the 6 months are pay in full prices. So just so you are aware of that. So you can do the $88 a month, the 3 month, which I can't do the math in my head. Or you can do the 6 month, which is $440. If you pay in full for the 6 month and the 6 month only by midnight on New Year's Eve, 12/31/23, you will also receive, this is so exciting because this was a total work, and I'm going to share about this actually in the first call. It just came to me. I'm going to give you a bonus call that is a one-on-one 30 minutes over Zoom, where you give me 2 intentions ahead of time, and we do a very special customized with your team that I will communicate to through using Ahai 7D energy, and you can read more about Ahai on my website. There's an Ahai page, and I will create, with the help of Spirit, the Divine, a customized activation for you. And then you'll get the recording and you can listen to it as many times as you want. So I'm like super excited. I don't know anyone doing anything like this, especially with it being live in person to start. And then after that, you get the recording. I know personally that activations over the past couple years have helped me so much, and none of them have been personalized. They have all been ones where they were either part of a group I was in or something I purchased separately, just like a general money activation, something like that. Those are amazing. Or on YouTube. And I've shared ones on YouTube. Reiki Rachel does great ones. There you go. On YouTube for free. But this will be personalized with using Ahai and me contacting your spirit team, your higher self, your guidance, however you want to put it, through using, your intentions. What are your intentions? What do you need to clear? What do you need to heal? What do you need to amplify? What else can come through? And we will do it like that. So this alone will be something that is $250. I'm going to have it as a separate offering. And again, it's a half an hour over Zoom. It will not be offered in person, just over Zoom. And I'm just like super excited. I'm super excited to see what comes through for people. Like, I'm just going to be the channel. I'm just going to be the conduit for the energy to see what comes through. And we'll have some, music playing, probably some type of Hertz music that we'll customize. We'll pick from. I won't personally create something, but a track, possibly on YouTube, and share from that person. I did a podcast a couple months ago with Susan Blanton, and she has a channel, so maybe we'll pull some things from there. But this will just be a really amazing experience because, like I said, doing activations consistently over the past couple years have been very, very transformational. And to now be able to offer this where it's customized to what you are looking to shift, grow, heal, expand on, however you want to look at it, and get the guidance from your team, I think will be really exciting. So that dropped in for me this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, what a cool idea. I'm up for the challenge. Thank you, the divine, for that idea. And I love it. And then it's going to be separate offer too. So if someone isn't interested in being part of this monthly collective, they can just purchase the session for $250 as a standalone. That's why I'm doing it both ways. So oh my gosh, I am super excited. I believe that setting up this group is not a huge time commitment. So there's no need to be overwhelmed, stressed. Oh my gosh, it's going to help you manage time and collapse time, because there will be a little bit of planning and strategy involved in order to be able to utilize the tools that we're going to talk about. Just embody them in your life, in your business, and make it just part of your day. And that's why having the Voxer support in between the calls, I think, will be really helpful to help you stay accountable to yourself and find support within the group. I think it's just a win-win on so many levels. So I know I just totally shared so many things, but I think this is just amazing. I'm so grateful for this idea to come through, and I will have all the links in the show notes. You can message me for a link, and we're going to get started. We're going to do this. We're going to get started on this new group, and just very excited. This is amazing. Yay. Thank you. And if you're interested in WWS, the Wealthy Women's Society, that is already on my website. melindavanfleet.com is my website. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's Melinda_Van Fleet. And I always put everything in the highlights on LinkedIn. And the other platform I'm on regularly is LinkedIn. So you can just key in my name. That's pretty easy. And I always put everything in the featured section on LinkedIn. So just really important, LinkedIn and Instagram are just great platforms to also have links for what you're selling. So a little tip there. I always like to share a little social media tip, but they're just great ways to always be referring back to share where people can buy from you. So there you go. If you're not selling, you're not sharing, and what the hell are you doing? So seriously, people. So if selling is one of your goals this year, you're like, I need to do this, right? I've been too comfortable. Being part of one of my two groups is an amazing way to get going. So again, the new Codes Collective is the 7th, and let me tell you when Wealthy Women's Society is on Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. That is also on Zoom. That is Tuesday the 9th and Tuesday the 23rd. And the Ahai session will be Sunday the 21st for that, because that has a free, not free, but it's just included in the package, general Ahai session that is part of how that group works. So anyhow, I'm excited. If you didn't know, if I didn't say it a million times already. If you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. Much love to everyone out there. For whatever you celebrate. If you're like Ryan and I, where you don't do a whole lot, then I hope you're just relaxing and putting your feet up, and get your thoughts together, because 2024 is here. Thanks for listening.